Welcome to Crocodile MTG, your home of competitive, constructed play in the modern, standard, and legacy formats. Today's video was brought to you by all our wonderful sponsors, affiliates, and patrons. Thank you so much for supporting the Crocodile MTG channel, and we hope you enjoy today's video. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jordan with Crocodile MTG and I am here to bring you another Magic the Gathering video. Today we're playing Blue-Black Control with Thief Sanity and things like Force of Will and Hymn to Torok. We're going to mulligan this hand just because we're on we're on the draw and we don't know what we're playing against. This is almost keepable, and alright, this is a little better at being keepable. And we'll see what our opponent's on for in a minute. They did keep a 7-card hand. Alright, Thoughtseize from our opponent. They probably take this Force of Will. I'm not going to 2-for-1 ourselves. The Snapcaster may prove useful later. Alright, so our opponent actually takes Hymn to Torok, which makes me think they're on a combo deck. Something like Ad Nauseam Tendrils or something. Alright, another Thoughtseize from our opponent. They might take the Liliana here. Yeah, they really can't afford card disruption, so it makes me really think they're on a combo deck, something Tendrils, either Ad Nauseam Tendrils or alright, so we're gonna fetch at our upkeep here. I think we just want to avoid drawing lands. Alright, we drew another land here. I guess I don't mind drawing lands if we can get the turn 4, but if we can't get the turn 4, I really don't want to be drawing lands. Alright, Snapcaster from our opponent, possibly getting a Thoughtseize. Yep. So our opponent's taking a lot of damage here. This could be a Death Shadow deck too. Green, okay. I really feel like this is combo, but our opponent not wanting anything to do with this discard. Hopefully they don't have Wasteland. Alright, we have another Snapcaster now. So now all we need is another land, and we can hymn our opponent, which might be good. Alright, our opponent's swinging in for 2 with the Snapcaster Mage. I feel like our opponent's some sort of combo deck, but I don't know what. Another Thoughtseize from our opponent. Alright. They're probably going to take the Snapcaster here. There's really nothing I can do about that. Part of me wants to just hold this Misty until next turn. Make our opponent think we have something. Alright, we're getting the Snapcaster beats against us. Again, I'm not really sure what we're playing against. Liliana, Last Hope. So it could just be Sultai control. They might have something like a Tarmogoyf. Alright, that's a little unfortunate. Alright, so we're going to pause on our upkeep and we're going to graph a fetch for a land. Let me know if you know what this is down in the comments. I'm sure I'll figure it out. I feel like it's probably just the Sultai control deck with something like Tarmogoyf. Our opponent is down the 5. I'm not sure if that's going to be relevant. And I didn't play the land last turn, so now I don't have this swamp. Alright, now I do. Oop. I drew. So now I can go after the Bayou if I want. But I think I'm going to wait a turn. I'm just going to keep this Force of Will up for anything our opponent might have, if they don't have a Force of Will back. Alright, our opponent has Verdant here. Our opponent swings in with the Snapcaster. We're down the 9. Alright, Liliana takes up to 6, which is concerning. And we are just flooding out ridiculously. Alright, if this Liliana gets the ultimate, I don't think we're going to be able to win. If we do get the win, it'll be a miracle. How many lands in a row was there? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's definitely at least 3. There might have been 4. Alright, there's a Baleful Strix, so maybe we'll be able to find something here. If we chain together the right cards, we might be able to get out of this. I don't feel like this is where we want to be, but I don't think there's anything better we can be doing. Alright, we're going to play out the Strix. We're going to draw the Jace. We just drew the Strix too late. Alright, Brainstorm from our opponent. We're going to end up losing to this Liliana emblem. Liliana emblem successfully comes down. We don't have a Stifle in this deck. Maybe we should add one of. Get some people on their fetch lands and alright, I'm not gonna protect one of these Baleful Strix. They're just pawns anyhow. We're gonna block the Snapcaster Mage though. Alright, they're going to get 2 tokens here. We're going to draw this lousy island. Alright, we're going to Jace here. Or at least attempt to. Alright, our opponent has Force. We're just going to concede. Yeah, this must be a Sultai control. I'm assuming they have Tarmogoyf somewhere in their build. I'm going to grab these back to basics. Spell Pierce is probably going to be good. I don't think I mind Thoughtseize. So these 6 cards. I probably don't want Diabolic Edict. I could see cutting a Fatal Push or 2. I don't know how small I want to get. I could see cutting the Fatal Pushes. Our opponent has like things like Snapcaster and such, but our Planeswalkers can handle those, and the Baleful Strixes are essentially removal spells in their own sense as well. And we also just have our own creature package to kind of fight back. I feel like we just go more control at this point. I don't know how I feel about these Thoughtseize, so I'm only going to put 1 in. And maybe it's just 1 of back to basics also. And cut Diabolic Edict in these. And then just make it about the Planeswalkers and creatures. Alright, we're going to be on the play. Yeah, I feel like I can keep this hand. We'll start with an island. And we'll pass the turn. We have this Brainstorm against anything our opponent might have as far as discard. And it looks like they just have a Ponder to start off. Alright, I'm going to fire off this Brainstorm end of turn. And next turn I want to be playing this Hymn. So I'm going to put Thief and Strix on top. I want to protect this Thief from any discard spells. Because I feel like this... scratch that. I forgot to play a Black Source turn 1. And now we have Thief. So maybe I should have cast the Thoughtseize there. I kind of panicked and then played Baleful Strix. Alright, we have a Ponder. I feel like I want to Ponder before I shuffle. I'm going to Ponder after I shuffled. Counterspell is not bad. This Jace is pretty good. So we're going to put Counterspell on top. I'm going to choose not to shuffle here. I am, however, going to attempt to Hymn our opponent. Alright, and they have Flusterstorm here. Alright, so our Hymn's going to go down. We're going to swing in for 1 here. Now our hand's wide open to be dismantled from our opponent. So we have a fetch land on top. I'm going to start with this Thoughtseize and see what our opponent's working with. Alright, so they have a Brainstorm here. I think I'm going to let this resolve because I really want to get this Thief down. So even if they protect their counter magic, we can just play Thief. And hopefully they won't be able to do anything with it. Alright, so they have their own Hymn to Torok. They have Force of Will and Abrupt Decay. Alright, that was nothing we wanted to see. So now I just think we take... Do we just take the Snapcaster? I think it might just be the Snapcaster. Alright, so our opponent plays Tropical Island here. They fetch with the Polluted Delta. And him. I'm going to start with fetching. Just grab this Underground Sea. I think Jace Liliana is probably our best. Our best package here. So we just put Jace Liliana on top. I think I'm going to attempt to counter here. Our opponent probably forces back. Okay, they don't. So I think I want to start with this Jace. I'm going to start with a Brainstorm. Alright, I'm going to put Thief Liliana back. Maybe it's Jace Liliana. Alright, I like our hand right now. We'll see what our opponent does. We want to try and get this Abrupt Decay out of our opponent's hand before we decide whether or not we're going to play this Liliana. We might play the Thief next turn, just as bait. Animate Dead on the Snapcaster. That's definitely an interesting play. And then attempt to him. So our opponent played Underground Sea, so we don't know one of the cards in their hand. I think I'm gonna just Animate Dead. Just force the Animate Dead. And now we'll see what our opponent has. Could be a Gurmag, which isn't very good. If it's Angler here, we can just bounce it with Jace. Yeah, I think that's fine. Alright, and there's another Jace on top of our deck. So I don't think we're going to need it here. I guess we'll wait and see what he plays out this turn. Because if we're brainstorming this turn, so yeah, I was going to say the Thief is definitely eating the Abrupt Decay here. which is great for us. And now if our opponent plays Thief, I mean not Thief, if our opponent plays... It'd be cool if our opponent had another Animate Dead, an Animator, or Thief, because then we can just bounce it back with our Chase. This blue-black control deck's all about card advantage. That's why it plays the 4 Hymns and the Baleful Strix and the Thief of Sanity. It's just about being up on cards compared to your opponent. Alright, so I think our opponent's probably just going to go for the... Okay, so they do have Animate. Okay, so like I just said, our opponent has Animate Dead. They're going to animate our Thief of Sanity. We're going to be able to bounce Thief of Sanity back with Jace. And our opponent has Gurmag, and this was a bad play for our opponent, and that's a bad pickup for us. Yeah, because I know our opponent's hand, so this doesn't affect me at all. And now if our opponent plays this Gurmag next turn, we can just tick down the Liliana on it. Yeah. Yeah, I think we have this game 2 wrapped in the bag. Hopefully we can get game 3. Gurmag from our opponent and a Force of Will in hand. That is game number 2. On the game number 3, I didn't really see anything that makes me want to bring in these fatal pushes. Diabolic Edict, I guess, is kind of questionable, but I think Baleful Strix does a pretty good job about doing it, and Thief of Sanity just flies over Gurmag. So I think we're just going to run back to 60. Alright, this hand is not bad. We're going to keep it. We have plenty of discard for our opponent, and we have Force of Will, Spell Pierce. Plenty of things to do. Alright, so I'm going to grab probably a basic Swamp. I feel like we're going to be dealing ourselves a lot of damage here. Alright, Strix, Force, Hymn. I feel like it's probably the Strix. Because if our opponent tries to Hymn next turn, we'll most likely be able to force the Hymn, and then we can Hymn back. I guess maybe it's just the Strix. Or maybe just the Hymn instead. Because we don't want to risk our opponent drawing a blue source. Let's see, if we pitch it the Force, we lose 2 cards. Could be both our lands, but then we have Hymn and Thoughtseize. Hymn's just such a bad card. I think I'm just going to take the Hymn here. And then if our opponent doesn't play the Strix here, then we can just Thoughtseize again. Alright, I think our opponent's just going to play the Strix. Which kind of just makes me want to Thoughtseize again. Because then I can take the Liliana without having to worry about anything. And then the following turn. Alright, I'm going to fetch first, grab an island. I'm going to Thoughtseize our opponent. Alright, now I think I just want to take Liliana Alright, so our opponent drew per turn. Alright, Thoughtseize from our opponent. I think that can eat a Spell Pierce. And if our opponent forces, then we'll just force back. Alright, so our opponent's going to play out the Ponder here. Part of me just wants to force this and then eat our opponent's last 2 cards. Alright, we'll open this up here. Show game log. I just want to see what our opponent's going to do here. Alright, so they chose not to shuffle. Alright. So our opponent's not drawing dead here. However, we are going to get to easily eat. We're going to grab 1 Underground Sea here. I want the ability to cast either of the cards. So we're going to eat the Abrupt Decay and the Force of Will, and now they're drawing off the top of their library. And we have Snapcaster and Force. So we're not in a bad spot here. Our opponent's going to continuously hit us with their Owl creature. Mr. Baleful Strix, or misses. I'd really like to find a Liliana here. So that is Liliana. So to do everything we want to do, so I'm going to put Thief and Force on top. This is a little weird. Maybe it should be Thief and Snap. Alright, so I'm going to start by killing our opponent's Owl. And then we have Force in hand. I feel like we're in an okay spot. And now we can just counter whatever our opponent has. Or we can start ticking up and eating our opponent's hand. Alright, Verdant from our opponent. I guess I'm going to tick up. Alright, so our opponent's going to respond. Alright, Assassin's Trophy. So I kind of want to... I'm going to cast Force, pitching a Force. And then in response to the Liliana trigger, I want to get this. I want to get the Snapcaster down. I'm going to target Brainstorm here. I'm going to let the Liliana trigger resolve, and then I'm going to Brainstorm. Alright, and all these are great cards. We'll put Strix and Thief on top. I'll leave Brainstorm open. I feel like we're in a very good spot here. Our opponent doesn't know what they're drawing each turn. Do they draw another Abrupt Decay off the top? It's a little odd. So I want to play the Thief, but I don't want our opponent going to be awkward if they have like counterspell or something. Or a fatal push. Alright, we're going to leave Strix on top. Now I'm going to take up Liliana. Our opponent might have been faking. If they do have something here, I don't think I'm too worried about it. Alright, Assassin's Trophy. So I have Strix, and I don't think I want to fetch here for a land. So we got to keep our Liliana around because they prioritized Thief of Sanity over Liliana, which I think was pretty good. And now we have Strix and Ponder on top. Alright, him's definitely good. We'll put Ponder. I don't want to shuffle. Alright, Thoughtseize away from our opponent. Attack in. We're just going to eat this Bayou. Alright, now we have a Ponder, which I want the Ponder. I don't want the... Yeah, back to basics doesn't do anything here. I'd like to shuffle. And there's a Thief of Sanity, which is the perfect time to fetch out this basic island from our deck and play a Thief. And I think we're going to get this one, but we do have to play it out. Our opponent's top decking. We're a little more in control of this game. And pretty soon we're going to get card advantage every single turn. Alright, Ponder from our opponent. So they do have an out here if they find something in the top three, or they get the shuffle. Let's show the game log. So they cast Ponder. They're thinking. They have to be careful with this Ponder too, because anything they leave on top, I'm going to be able to take with the Thief of Sanity. So they have to have a removal for Thief of Sanity. Which they can respond to the trigger by shuffling. So they do draw a card, but then they do shuffle. Alright, now they have a Brainstorm, which is a little harder now that they're locked up. So if they don't have a removal spell here for Thief, then Thief's going to be able to take over the game a little bit. I'm not sure how I feel in Legacy about people moving to Assassin's Trophy over Abrupt Decay. I feel like in Legacy the CMC is still so low that you want the uncounterable removal spell. But our opponent decided to concede there, so we did win this match. So a good game, opponent. Thank you so much for watching. Please go hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed today's video. For your custom playmats, mousepads, and more, head over to Inked Gaming. Use promo code crocodilemtg10 to receive 10% off your order. Today's video was brought to you by all our wonderful sponsors, affiliates, and patrons.